Consideration of a real property lease renewal with Charlie Guerin, State of Texas House Representative, District 99, for use of office space located on the third floor of the J.D. Johnson Northwest Sub Courthouse.
Move for approval.
Second.
Second. Yeah.
We have a motion and a second. Any discussion?
Yes, I've got some comments about this. So for those who are unfamiliar, this is not the first time that Lease space has come to the court. On July 11th of 2023, there was a request for office space for State Representative Chris Turner in Arlington, inside the Arlington Sub Courthouse. That was up for consideration. It was a deal that had been forged with the commissioner that sat in the seat before me and Representative Chris Turner. So I just pushed it through. After we vetted it, brought it to the court, and this court denied that office space for State Representative Chris Turner. And I'll remind you of what a couple of us said while we were up here voting down the office space for State Representative Chris Turner. I appreciate my staff for transcribing that meeting. So Judge O'Hare said, so this representative's office I cannot support. That I cannot get behind that. Before anybody goes to it's because it's a Democrat, I wouldn't support it if it was for a Republican. It doesn't matter who the state representative is. And he said the idea of, we don't even know what the terms are regardless, as in principle, but the idea lease agreement is almost too difficult to comprehend the thought. Commissioner Ramirez said, I don't think any commercial lease agreement tentative improvements are customary, but the end user, the tenant, pays for it. The tenant at this point being the state of Texas. Judge O'Hare agreed. Commissioner Ramirez said, I just don't think that's an appropriate use of Tarrant County dollars. There were some questions asked of budget. I could go on and on and on through this. But Judge O'Hare said, I think we have 11 state reps in Tarrant County. So we're going to do this for 2, 1, 4. Is the county or taxpayers in Euless or Grapevine going to pay for state reps to have offices in places that they don't want that money spent on? How many state reps and state senators are we going to allow to have offices? They go out to the private sector, they go rent space in the private sector. They're already having difficulty with landlords getting tenants. That's happening as we speak. And now we're going to take somebody out of a tenant space, or somebody can actually make money on it and basically subsidize it. So I'm going to vote no on the motion. Judge O'Hare again says, I wouldn't have voted for it either way, meaning Republican and Democrat. So it's going to be interesting to see how this vote goes. They were clearly opposed to this court leasing space, offering space to State Representative Chris Turner, but in the transcription it says any state representative or any senator. And so I can't see how this would pass today other than it will, and you will see the hypocrisy, and you will You can judge for yourself what types of leaders you have. But they were clearly both against it and spoke against it vehemently. Just not going to read all through the entire transcription.
Anybody else have any comments?
Nope.
Okay. I do. So there's one key piece, of course, that you just weren't told, which is commonplace, and that is we had an estimate of approximately $246,000 to remodel that and get it ready for what amounted to, I think, less than 2,000 square feet of space. And then the idea that we were going to be paid approximately $1,000 in rent, which if you did the math, which I did back at the time, it was decades, not counting the present value of money, before you would ever be paid back. You would never be paid back. So I thought it was a bad deal then. If that was before us today, I would be voting against it today. If he believes he doesn't have an additional use for this space, then I support it, which I don't believe he does, which is why I support it. But if Charlie Guerin or any other state representative, Republican or Democrat, came to us and asked county to spend $240-something thousand or $220 or whatever the revised estimates ended up being, I would vote against that as well, and that will hold true as long as I'm in this seat.
Okay, and so with regard to hyperbole, that $200,000 number you gave out included the build out of the passport office.
It did not.
And so
it most certainly did not. To build out the passport office, and that was about $460,000. So you're just simply wrong.
And so you were opposed to this. The lease agreement is similar to what Guerin's is. The one for Turner would have been similar to what Guerin's is, correct?
That's correct.
So $1,000, Guerin nor the state of Texas paid to build out any of the space in the office that he's in.
Commissioner, we were building out a business continuity center. So the county had made the decision, the court had made the decision to place business continuity centers in each precinct. And that was easily done in the other 3 precincts because we had conference rooms. We did not have anything in Northwest, so we spent the money to build a business continuity center.
Did the state contribute to that?
No, they were not involved in that decision. That was a court decision.
Okay. And did Guerin's office pay for any of it?
They paid $1,000 for the signage we installed.
Okay. And so we also have a state agency in the Miller Sub-Courthouse. Is that correct?
Department of Public Safety.
Department of Public Safety is there. And what did they pay for the build-out?
Commissioner, I'd have to look at that for you.
Did they pay for the build-out?
I'll have to check that for you, Commissioner. I don't have that in front of me. I want to say they didn't, but I would rather give you facts.
Okay. And what's their lease agreement?
I'll have to check that for you as well, Commissioner.
Do you happen to know how much they paid?
No.
Okay.
We do have a lease with them, though.
Okay. All right. So no, the state didn't pay for build out for the Guerin space. You're not sure about the DPS space. Guerin pays $1,000 a month. As the judge said back then, we'll never recoup that. In 25 years, we couldn't break even. And so just want y'all to see that this will pass today because he's Republican. If Guerin turned Democrat tomorrow, they'd probably vote this down. So those are my comments.
So this is not apples to apples, is
No,
it?
it's not.
Okay, so these are completely different scenarios.
Yes, we have made the decision to put in business continuity centers for disaster recovery at the Southwest Sub-Courthouse, the Northeast Courthouse, and the Sub-Courthouse in Arlington. We had conference centers, so we were very easily able to install the systems we needed to do that.
So Charlie Guerin required no market customization.
That's correct. He took the space as is. And the lease includes a provision, the county ever goes into emergency mode and we need the room, they will vacate it for us so that we could use it as long as we need it.
Got it, so apples and oranges. Thank you.
And-
Go ahead.
Oh, I was just going to say, being brand new to this, listening to why Representative Guerin, has this lease and all the history with it, I think if there's any other state rep that comes in on this business continuity type situation where it's not a huge outlay in money at the beginning where they can use and it seems to make sense for that, I'd be fully in favor of. So if there's an opportunity, I don't care if it's Republican or Democrat, Charlie beat me bad for a state rep race, so I'd love to vote no in some ways, just to say that. But I think it makes perfect sense, and it's been there for how long? How long has Representative Guerin been in the?
2019.
Okay, so 2019, so he's already been in there for 5-6 years. So I'd say any other opportunity like this that comes before the court where you can use the facilities in this way without a bunch of upfront costs, I'll absolutely be in favor of. But if it's $250,000 or others, regardless of who it is, I think I would be against that as well. So,
Where are the other building continuity setups?
They are in the conference centers at each one of those locations. The large meeting rooms we built out when we built the new buildings, those have the services in place, and if we ever need them, we just go in and we drop things out of the ceiling and put in the tables, and they can become places for a person to sit.
So is the community room in each sub-courthouse?
The conference rooms, yes, the large.
The conference rooms or the community rooms?
The multi-meeting rooms that are in each location.
Okay. So then do you use that as a community room or his office space?
It's currently used for business continuity should we ever need it. Right now it's office space. And again, if we need it, if we go into emergency mode, they would vacate the office and the county would take over it and use it as long as whether that's a month, whether that's 6 months, whether that would be a year.
And there's also a community room.
There is not. We are building one.
Oh, so you're building a community room
We're building a small community room so we have that function, but it's a very small room.
because Guerin is in the community room that
No.
you have. The business continuity, the community room in Arlington Sub-Courthouse is the business continuity
That's
center,
correct.
which is also the community room, correct?
That's correct.
Okay. So you don't have to come build us a community room.
No, those were built out when we constructed the buildings.
Okay. So, but now you're building a community room.
It's a very small room in comparison
But you're
to
building-
the other three.
okay.
Yes.
All right. Thank you.
All right, any other comments from the commissioners? All right, seeing none, we have a motion and a second. Please cast your vote. All right, passes unanimously. Oh, no, I'm sorry, 3-2. Don't know why I said that. Next up is K1 Purchasing. It's a bid on an annual contract for medical examiner supplies, ME's office.